What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin today, BTC USD. It is the 22nd day of June, and here we are sitting at $65,000 with roughly 11 hours and 14 minutes left in the day. Hit that like button, subscribe, and thank you all for being here. Here we are pumping. We're up 2.7% on the day, which it doesn't seem like it's a lot as far as percentage goes, but for Bitcoin, this is actually a pretty good green day, and altcoins are loving it as well. Altcoins are on the mend with a day like this as well. We did move up over the weekend. We saw a Friday, Saturday pump. Friday was part of the weekend because it was a national holiday. The banks were closed and all that stuff, so that counts as a 3-day weekend. We were moving up over the weekend. Sunday, we actually came back down and closed right at that weekend's almost at the weekend open, I should say. I guess that would be Friday, the open there. So we came down and closed most of it, but then we pumped back up. I still do expect that we're going to come back down, but man, what a hell of a reversal here. We literally, I don't think that we moved down at all today. There's no wick on the bottom here. We literally just pumped up and then haven't gone down at all. That's a pretty bullish signal in itself. If we're looking at this here relative to the 1 hour time frame, sure, yeah, we'll use the 1 hour. We'll go to the high to the low here. You are near your golden ratio. We're almost at that point there, which is at 65.3 to 65.7K. We were bearish here, and that bearish call was right for a moment, but then, man, hell of a reversal. Hell of a reversal. I hope you guys didn't need me to tell you that clearly things have changed, right? We actually found support at the 236. 236 being at 63.4K, and then coming back up. I mean, it was pretty clear at this point that we were going to head to the golden ratio. Now, what's not clear to me is, do we go past this? Does this persist past this? My guess is no, we don't. We probably stop here at 65.3 to 65.7K, somewhere in that range. That's probably where we stop. But if we do persist, if it does persist higher, it's quite possible that we could be sending it all the way up to 68.7K, maybe even $71,000 itself, somewhere in this range. It's something to consider when you see a reversal like that. Again, we did move up over the weekend, but the only thing is, by the end of the weekend, by Sunday, we actually ended up closing down where we were toward the end of the day on Friday, which I guess, if you consider that the weekend started here, you're still up over the weekend. I don't know. But maybe it doesn't matter if I consider it starting there. Maybe it did technically start on Saturday. I don't know. At any rate, it was definitely less disparity from the weekend open to the weekend close with this drop here. So we're seeing a little bit of an increase. I expect that we will go to the golden ratio, and I expect that we will find resistance there. So $65,100 now. I don't think that the buck stops here, but it's getting close. Let's look at the indicators on the 1 hour time frame. The RSI is getting toward the overbought zone. That is typically where you find resistance. The MACD actually held support at the zero and came up. That's a bullish signal right there. And the stochastics are in the overbought zone. That's also where you typically find resistance. But bullish looks overall, guys. Very, very bullish looks. I don't think that it stops here. We probably do move up just a little bit higher. 4 hour time frame here. Looking at this, I mean, overall, you do have your higher lows maintained, more or less. What about this here? What is this? Yeah, I mean, you did a very classic thing. Found support just below this trend line. I call that the sweet spot. Maybe we should have anticipated this, but when we were up here, we were bearish because it looked like we came back to back test this trend line and find resistance. So, now here we are again up to this trend line. Could we back test it here and find resistance? I think we could, but again, that golden ratio, we just go a little bit higher and then come down. We'll see. We will see. Looking at this from a relative perspective, off of this high here to this low here, that was the high that we took. Okay, because we were on the 1 hour. That's right. Yeah, the golden ratio would be right there, directly intersecting where that white line is. What about this? We just barely missed the golden ratio there, and now we're up at the 236. See, this would be an area that you would expect to find resistance. So yeah, I think we're getting close, guys. I think we're getting close. And if I'm right in the idea that we're going to go lower, to first validate that idea, I suppose we need to get below these highs. but to ultimately validate it, we'd have to get below this low. So the statistical probability of going below here and potentially even going back down to 60K or lower in the short term, somewhere down here, at least 62.1K to 60K, somewhere in this range. At most, maybe 59 to 57K. If I'm right in my assumption that we're going to go down, that first becomes more likely once we cross this threshold here of this closing high at about 64.5K. And I would say it becomes statistically much more probable once we get below 63.3K. We get below 63, really it's 63.27, so 60, let's say 63.2K. We get below there, lower lows would definitely be the expectation there, in my opinion. The MACD does have bearish divergence at the moment. At the moment, you are at the zero level still to find resistance. You do have a little bit of bearish divergence. The stochastics are overbought, which the last time that you overbought, you did see a little bit of a pullback, but you bounced still. I mean, overall, very bullish, getting overbought, bouncing off the oversold area. And then the RSI, rejecting the 60, finding support at the 40, we're up. I mean, overall, you've got much more bullish looks than bearish looks here. That bearish divergence on the MACD is the one kind of conniption. We look at this on the daily time frame. Daily RSI rejecting the 50, but finding support down here at the 35. That's not bad. Back up at the 50. When you find resistance at the 50, and that resistance doesn't really send the prices lower, that's actually kind of a bullish thing. Stochastics, same thing. And the MACD went from finding lower drives of bullish momentum to potentially building bullish momentum. You know, the daily time frame is the one that makes me kind of reconsider my position as far as going below these lows go. So right now, anything's in the air. I'm sticking with the idea that we do go down to 62K or lower, 62 to 60K, maybe even to 59K or even just below these lows. I'm sticking to this idea of a lower low relative to this low here, okay? But if today closes here or higher, I will change my position. Because if we close here or higher, I mean, you've got a bullish signal flashing across all three of these indicators on the daily time frame. I mean, that's a hell of a bullish reversal right there. That's a bullish engulfing candle if I've ever seen it. Not a whole lot of volume. 11 hours left in the day. This is why I'm waiting for the daily close to make that decision, because 11 hours left in the day, a lot can happen, guys. A lot. I mean, we could be back down below 64K with that. I mean, we could turn this day red. We are up 3%, and that is a relatively big green day, but we've seen days where Bitcoin, you know, wakes up and then it comes back down and closes red. We've seen days where Bitcoin dumps 14% in a day. So I mean, it can definitely turn around. We've got more than enough time to do it. It'll be interesting to see what happens, but the daily time frame actually does look pretty damn good. And again, if the daily time frame is bullish, if we do flip bullish here, I mean 382, 236 support, the idea here would be that we'd at least go to the 0.5, which would then be about $70,000. And the target areas that we have identified here from a high to a low are 68.7 to 70 and 70.6K. And right in the middle there is that 69.8K level, that $70,000 level. So it's very possible that that's where we go as well. I will start to call for this on a regular basis if we close here, and especially if we close here today and then tomorrow we don't get some kind of reversal. If we close here today and tomorrow, maybe tomorrow closes slightly red, or it closes neutral, or it closes green a little bit, whatever the case may be. If we can close here 2 days in a row, and especially if we can get above this golden ratio, above 65.3K on a daily closing basis, then I will be bullish. I will maintain that bullish stance that we're moving higher. But for now, calling for lower still. We'll see how it goes. I got nothing else for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all. Take care. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.